Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today's event, and hope whoever not settled down yet, please come forward and sit in front. Um, for the next half an hour or so, I would like to share with you my experience around digital transformation. And you see the word simplify. Why I put the word simplify is because through my conversation with a lot of our customers, they always say digital transformation is a very complex and difficult journey, right? So our mission within my business unit, Exabyte Enterprise Business Unit, is to help our customers simplify their digital transformation journey so that they can accelerate their business growth. So that's the reason why I chose this topic. Okay? So just a little bit background about Exabytes. So Exabytes has started the business 22 years ago in Penang. So our HQ is based out of Suntec Tower in Penang, nearby here. And over the years, we have acquired many companies, right? Through merger and acquisition, as you can see from the slide, we have grown into the largest hosting company in the region, right? Spanning across Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. And through our sister companies, as you can see somewhere in the middle there, Easy Parcel, Pigeon Delivery, Easy Store, and the rest, we are now the largest digital services and digital platform in the region as well, serving more than 1 million users. So we have over 160,000 active paying customers today, and we are still growing. And enterprise business is one of the business units that can help to accelerate the growth for our internal business as well. So we have presence in 3 countries, and Malaysia HQ is in Penang. I'm based in KL. We have offices in Singapore and Indonesia as well. So what is digital transformation? So to put it nicely, this is the definition that I see is most relevant, so I captured it here. It's about integrating business with digital technology so that you can meet your customer requirements, right? The market is ever changing, and the demand is changed as well. The user profile, the user requirements, and everything else change, very frequently, and you need to adapt to all those changes. But the core to note is that digital transformation is about business. It's not about technology. I think a lot of the customers also, start at the wrong footing. They just want to go through digital transformation. They thought they want to acquire the latest and the best technology. They've forgotten, using this technology is actually to grow the business. So the starting point should be business, right? And the technology is just the enabler. So in Exabytes, we have analyzed and we have come to a conclusion that there are 3 phases that businesses should go through, right? When they embark on the digital transformation journey. Number 1 is digitization. Number 2 is digitalization, then only digital transformation. We call it D1, D2, D3. So digitization is about able to access the data in a digital format, right? So if your current process, your business process is having a staff go around, taking a piece of paper and jot down on a piece of paper, that is analog base of business process, right? You will not be able to access the data through systems. So first thing is about digitization. You need to convert all this manual-driven, analog-based data into a digital format. So that's where data is created, D1, right? And once you have this digitized format, then you can start to automate your business processes. That's where companies implement ERP, CRM, warehouse management system, and other systems that can automate your business processes, including office automation, right? That's digitalization, D2. Then only you can talk about, is there a new business model that you can embark on based on your D1 and D2 processes? So that's how we look at it, right? And digital transformation, which is the D3, is the toughest because you're talking about going into a new area, talking about how do you enhance the customer experience and how do you, automate your whole supply chain and the rest of the, business process flow. So let's dive down a little bit more about D1, D2, D3. And there are 4 areas of digital transformation, right? But at the end, it's all about, business, like I mentioned earlier, and that should be the direction for your start. But we believe the one that driving this should be the cloud and data, right? Cloud should be the platform. not your traditional on-premise server, because it's not scalable, it's not secured, and it's hard for you to maintain. So going to the cloud should be the first step, or should be the platform you should consider if you embark on a digital transformation journey. Right? And data is important. Data is where you can gain the insights of your business to make decisions better, to predict the future. And based on the historical data that you gather, you can make a better decision for the future. So what are these 4 areas? Number 1 is process transformation. So an example of process transformation, I think maybe most of you or probably all of you has experienced Domino Pizza, right? So Domino Pizza, when they transform their business using an enhanced process, they are the first one to put their pizza ordering online. And they put online, not just putting online to order the pizza, but they can actually allow you to track every single process. When you put an order, you can see whether the kitchen has picked it up, whether they start cooking it, whether they have started, putting it to the delivery channel to start delivering to your home. You can actually track every single step. So through this process automation improvement, they actually enhance their sales by like more than double. So this is an example of process automation. So in your business also, you may want to think about whether this is the area that you want to enhance, process automation. Number 2 is business model transformation. So an example that I can give that you can relate is Netflix, right? So I think if you subscribe to Netflix, is today what they already have. But you know that Netflix, when they first started, they actually ran out DVD. You know that physical DVD that is really non-existent. That's how they started their business in US. But they hit into a problem where they cannot scale anymore. So they start to convert the DVD rental business to an online subscription business. But at that time, they also put all their data, all their video content in a localized server that they manage themselves, on-prem kind of setup, right? So they also cannot scale. In fact, they got hacked and they got compromised. And the data actually, or their video actually, got compromised. And that's where they actually start talking to AWS, the cloud platform AWS, right? And then that's where they put the content on AWS platform. And once they put it there, they actually transform their business. And not just they can serve the US-based customer, they can serve global customer. And today we can access to Netflix data or content, from here, because it's really cloud-enabled. So that's business model transformation. They transform from a physical DVD business to cloud business to global business. Domain transformation. So an example of domain transformation is Amazon.com. Amazon.com, when they first started off, it's actually bookstore, right? They sell books online. But after they built their business to a certain size, they realized that the back-end infrastructure that they've built can be a business. And they transformed that business model to a cloud platform, right? Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. And today they are the largest cloud platform by far, right? The next nearest is a cloud platform is Microsoft Azure Cloud. It's only half of their size. So from a bookstore, online bookstore, and they transform their domain of business to an online cloud service provider and become the largest in the world. Last but not least is the cultural transformation. So to enable the digital transformation successfully implemented, it has to be a organization level kind of strategy, right? Top down. At the CEO level or the business owner level, that should be the one that driving this, setting the direction that the company or the business will go through this transition. Then only it will be successful. So these are the 4 areas. Let's move on. So based on the D1, D2, D3 we talked about just now, you still need these 3 aspects, right, in order to ensure that it's successfully done. First is the technology, which is a matter of how much money you have to spend, right? You have more money, then you spend more, you invest into the best technology. And then you look at your business processes. You can follow the best practices. So these 2 is manageable. The toughest one is actually the people, right? Do you have the in-house resources to do this, to go through this entire journey? Even if you have or you hire a top-notch professional, how long can you keep that professional, right? Because they're highly demanded in the industry. A cloud specialist, these are the key skill set you need to go through digital transformation. So how many of these specialized skills that you can hire? So that's always the people issue, right? The skill set issue. Then only you can talk about which area. Just now we talked about the 4 areas of digital transformation. So which one you want to focus in, right? There are these 8 specialized area or specific areas that you may want to consider. And all this is very complex and difficult. So that's the reason why in Exabytes or in the business that I'm in, we are talking about how do we simplify this digital transformation journey for our customers. But today I'm actually focusing on the manufacturing and supply chain specifically, so later on I will share more. But let's look at how do we start the journey, right? And I would suggest that we start with why, right? And the why typically is not a matter of choice anymore. If you are not going into some form of digital transformation, you could be at risk, not relevant anymore to your customers, right? So how do we start? I have simplified into these 7 steps. First is, so what is the business objective? Are you looking at reducing costs, enhance productivity, even reducing costs? Which area of cost that you want to enhance? In a manufacturing environment, which process flows that you want to automate further, or you want to have visibility of that process flow and see how you can improve further. So start with why, right? From the business perspective. Then you take a snapshot of where you are today and where you want to be. Start with why, the business outcome that you want. Then you come up with a blueprint. So the blueprint is governing, all the steps, all the different solution, or the technology and the resources that you need to go through this. Then, like I said, cloud is very important. So you need to also start thinking, or maybe work with your partner, your cloud service provider, or your solution providers to talk about how do you leverage on the cloud technologies. And today, cloud, they have all sort of services already on the cloud, right? You don't have to build from scratch. You can just subscribe to the services, and you will have it already. And cybersecurity is very important. So throughout the entire chain of digital transformation journey, cybersecurity has to be part and parcel of that blueprint, right? And you talk about OT and IT integration. As long as your equipment is connected to the internet, you are exposed to some form of attack, right? If you are not careful and you do not have visibility of this connectivity through the internet, you could be exposed, right? A hacker may come in and steal your data, jam up your process flow, or put in ransomware to your environment, right? So cybersecurity is very important. Then you identify the core team. So core team here, I would think that it will include your trusted partner, right? Your supplier who has the skill set, who has the resources and the know-how to help you. Then you should track the progress, right? You should set the KPI of your digital transformation. Then how do you then make sure that every single step is achieved, based on milestone, based on the project timeline. So this is the 7 steps that I summarized based on the, the digital transformation journey for all our customers. So specifically for manufacturing and supply chain, I also have listed down these 10 items that the company should look at. Number 1 is digital manufacturing. So digital manufacturing is all about putting sensors, IoT devices, automation at the shop floor itself. Why is it important? Is because the next one, right? So once you have these sensors and all this automation, you already have a system capturing all the data and the whole process flows of your manufacturing environment, or even your whole supply chain. And with those information, you can then have the data insights, what's going on your business on a real-time basis, right? The CEO or the business owner can at any point in time just log on to the dashboard and look at what's going on. And then you can even have predictive kind of a decision making, based on the historical data, based on whatever dashboard that is presented, you will make a better decision. So with the visibility, it's not just within your own environment. You can even have an integration to your supplier and your distributor or your whole downline supply chain and see what is going on of your goods, right? Moving from one location to another, or moving on one from the manufacturing environment to the warehouse, then to the end user. So what's going on, right? So visibility is important. Then collaboration and communication. So once you have this system integrated, you can actually collaborate more effectively with your whole ecosystem, right? And warehousing and inventory management. So I think here we can see a lot of technology already quite advanced, right? In the warehouse, instead of human picking the whatever goods that you have in your warehouse, you have AGVs, you have all these robots can help you. And all these are connected to the internet. And all this data can be pushed back to the cloud environment that you can have a dashboard to see what's going on, every single item. And this will prevent human errors. Then customer centricity. So just now I talk about the whole digital transformation is about business. Business is about customers, right? No matter whether you are supplying to your supplier or supplying straight to your end user, it's still at the end, who is paying the money is the one that you're serving eventually, right? So with the system that you have, then at least you can capture the customer demand, the market demand, and what are the areas that you should improve in order to have a better customer experience. Sustainability. So this is also becoming a hot topic, right? ESG reporting. So for those companies who are listed on Bursa, it's really a mandatory submission. Every year they must submit the ESG reporting. But if you do not have a digitalized or digitized environment, there's no way that you can capture the data and print out a report. So you know, AWS, if you migrate your on-prem server to AWS, immediately they can churn out a carbon report for you already, because AWS is moving towards net zero. So you move your workloads from your on-prem to cloud, immediately you already gain some carbon credit already. And you can generate a report to submit as part of your supporting document to Bursa. Cybersecurity, as I mentioned, is a very important aspect. All right? And cybersecurity is not just about investing into the technology and putting into the preventive area, but also you need a 24/7 monitoring. And monitoring, when you see any anomalies, you must have the capability to take action. Adaptability. So with digital transformation, you will then have the flexibility, the agility to change, right? Based on the market change or based on certain process or different business model that you may want to embark on. Because you do not have that restrictions on-prem anymore. Everything is on the cloud, pay-per-use basis. You can scale up, scale down, based on your needs. Last but not least, eventually it's all about how do you enhance the whole business process so that you can reduce costs, increase productivity. So this is all about digital transformation, and this specifically around the manufacturing and supply chain environment. So to put it into the big picture, it looks something like this, right? From sales and marketing to design, engineering, manufacturing operations, supply chain, services chain, and business operation, including support. All these different aspects of your business can be automated, can go through the D1, D2, D3, right? And bottom here are some of the common solutions that you can implement, right? From RPA to IoT, data analytics platform, CRM, warehouse management system, ERP. So later on you'll hear from YGL, who is our partner, providing ERP solution and how it can help manufacturing environment to automate. And then data analytics. So Exabyte Enterprise, our tagline is Cloud-First Digital Transformation Services. And we have these three principles when we engage with customers, right? Number one is everything as a service. So we do not do a traditional reselling of hardware and software. Whatever we sell as a solution is on a subscription basis. And number two is cloud-centric. We believe that eventually all workloads will be on cloud, whether it's a private cloud, public cloud, or hybrid cloud. Right? That's our belief. And because we serve enterprise customers, Exabytes business, when we first started, we served down to the individual. If you just want to subscribe a domain from Exabytes, you can just go online, log into our website and subscribe. But my business unit is more on the enterprise. So service level agreement is important because we need to ensure we deliver what we commit to our customers, right? Larger customers. So why cloud first? I think this is really quite known, right, to whoever that has embarked on the cloud journey. One point that I want to maybe highlight is that security protection. So when cloud first started off, there's a lot of discussion about how secure is the cloud. Can I move my data to the cloud? Is it secure? But I think nowadays people don't ask about the security anymore as a concern. And because most compromise actually happen on-prem infrastructure, right? Your ransomware, your data stolen, and mostly happen if you still have your on-premise server. And why is it so? Simply because the hyperscaler like AWS or even a cloud service provider like Exabytes, we host our server in a purpose-built data center. What do we mean by purpose-built data center? Means it comes with all the physical security as well as cyber security. So physical security means it's a purpose-built building. It's fireproof. It has all the gen set. It has all the physical, door access all in place. So it's not easy for anyone to just go into a purpose-built data center. Then the cybersecurity really put in all the proper firewall, the monitoring system, and whatever else. And then on top of that, if let's say you subscribe to, let's say, to Exabytes cloud services that is hosted in the purpose-built data center, we can provide on top of that cybersecurity services like SOC, 24/7 monitoring and response services. We can put in EDR, MDR, and all those. So cybersecurity protection is definitely, on cloud is definitely much better than your on-prem. Okay. And of course, the last part, the managed services. So just now you talk about the people is always a challenge, right? So that's where we come in to complement you. So you have a small team, we can complement the area that you are not good at. If you do not have a team at all, we can even totally outsource your, your cloud or digital transformation journey for you. So I think by now you probably agree with me that cloud is the catalyst for digital transformation, right? And because of all these services that you see within the cloud image here is really hosted on cloud, right? And at the end, why is it important is because then your user, whether your partner or your end user or even your staff can access the system anytime, anywhere, on any device. So that's the ultimate goal, right? And of course, connectivity is important. And 5G now is really started rolling out. So it's a matter of time that bandwidth, connectivity, the network constraint is no longer an issue. But still, this is still very complex, right? So you still need to have a trusted partner to work with you so that you can complement and help you manage all this. So we have come up with this 4 product pillar, right? Exabyte Enterprise Business Unit has these 4 product pillars. So number 1 is cloud pillar, very important, right? That's the catalyst for digital transformation. Then cybersecurity, very important. Every single step must have the cybersecurity, thought through in terms of how do you enhance the protection. Backup and DR. So this one area is, people thought that is not so important and not so critical. You go and back up your data to some hard disk and then put it somewhere at the corner in your office, you thought it's good enough. But when you really need to restore the data, a lot of the time the data cannot be restored because you never check. So you should leave this to the professionals. So we have actually acquired a company called Aegis, the brand Aegis, AEGIS. They specialize in backup and DR only. They don't do anything else. So when they are specialists means the entire team, they have a 24/7 operation team. When they do the backup, they ensure the backup copy is clean. And they do simulation every year, 1 or twice a year. Simulation as in DR simulation. They ensure when you need to restore the data, you can actually restore. So we have a lot of customers got ransomware attack. So what happened is they call up our service desk. We will help them restore. It may not be the immediate copy because the copy is corrupted, but we can always have multiple copies, right? You back up maybe 2 days before, 1 week before, you can still restore your data. But if you do not have that process flow, you may not be able to restore your data at all until you pay the ransom. And sometimes after you pay the ransom also, the hackers will not release your data and your data is forever gone. So very important, backup and DR is to ensure business continuity. Cloud app is where we partner with our selected strategic partners. So like today, we partner with YGL. So YGL come in and complement us in terms of the application layer. So YGL specializes in ERP solution and has a special module for manufacturing. Right? So all in all, these 4 product pillars, we believe with these 4, we should be able to simplify your digital transformation journey. So I will move very fast the next few slides. Basically, I just want to highlight, so for cloud, it's about delivering the lowest TCO for our customer, total cost of ownership, right? So we have all these services. Cybersecurity, providing you the highest protection possible, right? So what do we do here? Later on, I have a few more slides. Maybe I'll just run through it. Cybersecurity is no longer a question of if you're being attacked. So last time I talked about, I cannot be the unlucky one, being attacked or being targeted by the hackers. Nowadays, it's when you are being attacked. So it's just a matter of time, right? So it's no longer just the big company or the FSI will be attacked. Any company can be attacked. In fact, nowadays, there's this service in the dark world called the ransomware as a service. So they actually can pay money to someone to plant ransomware to you, and then they do it as a business, right? And the ransomware and all this hacking can happen at any point within your network, right? It could be happening at your backend server. It can be through your website. It can be through your, phishing attached file through your email. If one of your users, not careful, click onto the phishing email attachment, then, the system basically is infected already. So how do we prevent this from happening, or how do we minimize the impact? So in the physical world, which is on your right-hand side, if you want to protect your house, you put in your lock, your grill, your CCTV, and all those, right? That is your first level of defense. But even then, if let's say someone still break into your house, then you probably have some sticks or some iron rod in your house, and you try to fight whoever the robbers are, right? So that's the second level of defense. But if you still feel, hopefully you have a panic room, then you go in there and lock yourself up, right? But in the cyber security world, your first level of defense are all this, right? Your firewall, your DDoS protection, and all those. And then your second level of defense is like your endpoint detection and response solution. And then your third level of defense is what I talked about just now, right? This Aegis is the one that is our subsidiary company that specializes in backup and DR. So when you really got hacked and then you lost your data or you kena ransomware, that's where we can help you restore, right, your data so that your business can continue. So this is an analogy between the physical world and the cyber world. And the framework we use, because cybersecurity is about a cycle, right? So you start from identifying the assets that you have, what are the assets you want to protect, you invest into technology to protect it, or you subscribe to service to protect it, you detect any anomalies, you respond to it, and then you recover, and then you go through that cycle again. So it's a cycle, right? So in Exabytes, we provide this SOC service. So why is SOC service is important? Security Operations Center, because it's a 24/7 monitoring and response service. So when the hacker trying to go into your environment, this is where you could be breached, right? Breach means you already compromised and certain malware already in your environment. But the impact may not happen yet, because the malware may stay in your environment for like 3 to 6 months before it takes action to lock down your data and whatnot. So throughout these 3 to 6 months, SOC play a role of identifying any anomalies based on the logs we collect. So if we can identify any anomalies, like let's say there's a brute force happening, there's some invalid lock-in or some malware that we identified, then we can alert. You see that we can alert. Let me go to the next slide. So we can alert our customers, or we can provide the service to help customers remediate the issues based on the log we collected, right? So that the earlier we identify the issues, the earlier we resolve it, then it will not reach the impact. That means your data may not be stolen, your money will be stolen, and the reputation may not be tarnished. So the whole idea about SOC service is you take action before it's too late. So that's what we are trying to sell, right? And this is the more technical process flow. So we collect the logs from the cloud environment, on-prem branches, go to our SOC center, we analyze the logs using our SIM platform, and then any anomalies will take action. So that's the idea. So backup, I mentioned earlier, is very important to ensure there's no data loss, right? And especially when there's a ransomware, you need to have a clean copy of data to restore. And disaster recovery is about business continuity. We even provide a temporary office space, right? If let's say, like, I think last year or 2 years ago when there's flood, right? Some of our customers actually come to our office to use our office space to go and process their payroll and whatnot because their office is really flooded. So this is about disaster recovery. And cloud-driven application, so this is where it will contribute the actual business value, right? It has to come from the application layer. And today we partner with YGL to provide that ERP solution. But we have other strategic partners providing different solutions, but all cloud-centric software as a service kind of business model. So data is very important. In fact, it's classified as the new oil fueling the digital transformation journey for customers, right? Data is the new oil. So you must be able to capture data, store the data, analyze the data to gain the data insights. And there are many ways of capturing the data, which is here, right? This is the data source. To capture it, you can capture through CCTV, RFID, IoT device, and whatnot. Process the data once you store, and then we will promote on the cloud because it's more flexible, more agile, more scalable. and then gain the data insights. Right? At the end, it's still going back to the business. Why you want to keep all this data? Because you want to drive certain business outcome. So in conclusion, digital transformation is complex. Right? I think that one, no doubt. And it requires a change in organization culture. It has to be driven from the top. Right? And this is but the path to achieve your business outcome could be challenging, especially on the people side. Right? And then you must do this because you want to stay relevant to your business, to your customers, right? To maintain your competitive edge. And we, Exabytes Enterprise, would like to be your trusted partner to help you go through this journey and simplify the journey for you. Thank you very much.